All right, guys, welcome back. We have a special guest today, a legend in the game, Gary V. If you follow us, I'm pretty sure you watch a lot of our content. It's all based on entrepreneurship and investing. So Gary's somebody that actually needs no introduction. He's been a pioneer in the space of not just entrepreneurship, but really online entrepreneurship as far as the kind of content even that we create. You know, he was an early adopter as far as social media, YouTube, talking about, you know, non-traditional type of way of even presenting himself as far as sneakers, hats, and different things of that nature, which has become commonplace now.
Norm.
So he's somebody that he set a lot of blueprints. And we've actually spoke to him a while ago. I think it was like 4 years ago.
Yep.
So just a follow-up conversation. So first and foremost, thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Proud of you guys.
And congratulations. You recently got married.
Yes,
so.
sir.
Welcome.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
welcome to
it.
the
Yes,
club.
sir. And, you know, in that 4-year journey, I just want to give you guys some flowers. Been thinking a lot about the concept of flowers while people are alive. You know, we got to give them out more often. It's been really great to see you guys build. So congrats, and congrats to your audience following along.
No, thank you, man. Thank you.
So we got a lot to talk about. The first thing I want to ask, so the last time we spoke, you were very adamant about NFTs.
Yes.
Has your thought process changed, being that the landscape of NFTs have changed, or are you still bullish on NFTs?
I'm in the same spot I was. Obviously, if you go back to those videos in 2021 and 20, when I was talking about them, the talk track was the same. This is early. This is like Web 1.0. 99% of these things are going to zero. You know, when people want to jump on me on that thing, they like to conveniently leave out all the videos I put out that said 99% were going to zero. 3 weeks ago, $132 million worth of NFTs were bought in a week.
Saw that, yeah.
But nobody, including the inner circle of NFT collectors, even could believe that, because the brand of NFTs are so faded, so, you know, low. Front page of the Wall Street Journal in the spring, summer of 2000 says the internet was a fad. Because Amazon, eBay, you know, PayPal, their stocks went from $150 to $4, $3 because of the collapse. What happened in Web 1.0 and what happened in Web 3.0 with NFTs was the same thing. Greed took over the macro. So am I bullish? CryptoPunks, which was the first NFT I was most talking about and excited about as the OG, the real one, I think as we are filming right now, is somewhere in the ballpark of $225,000 for the cheapest one. They were $14,000 to $30,000 when I was talking about them. That's a good return. You know, Peggy Penguins, you know, Bored Apes, Azuki, V-Friends. There's 7 to 10 projects that are building through this winter, and you know, we'll see what comes out of it, right? So the cheapest V-Friend right now from Series 1, my biggest collection, the cheapest one as we sit here right now is $6,000. That's above what everybody bought it for when they came out. Many are much more expensive than that. So yeah, I'm incredibly bullish because I believe that collecting is on the precipice of being in the same place that music, sports, fashion, and food were. So let's really go into something that I think could really help some people right now. Sports. The 1982 NBA Finals, Lakers, Sixers. I don't remember which game, so I don't want to get it wrong. Maybe game 2, 3, I don't remember, 5. But I don't think it was 1 or the last game. The 1982 NBA Finals was on tape delay in America. They aired golf instead of live NBA Finals game because it was that unpopular, rating that poorly at that point. The biggest athletes in sports in the 50s had to get jobs in the off season because that's what they were getting paid. Coca-Cola did not have a sports marketing department until the 60s or 70s. In the last half century, in the last 50 years, sports went from this thing over here to as big of a cultural phenomenon as we get. Music obviously has had a much more stronger impact in a lot of ways, but the profound nature of being a famous musician continues to get amplified. Celebrity culture was not as big in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. A pilot and an astronaut was more famous than somebody, or at least equal to somebody that was on film. I love to look at history to understand the future. I believe what you're seeing right now, you know these Labubus?
Mm-hmm.
Labubus, sneakers, watches, sports cards, NFTs, art. I think that collecting is starting to gain extreme momentum. And the way that you go out with your girl and sit with another couple and you talk about, what are you watching on Netflix? Did you see the big game last night? Have you heard about this new rapper or artist? Like, you know, why is the way fashion changes? We're all old enough, we're not 15, to see baggy, then tight, then baggy, right? Timbos to Nikes to Reebok, like we see it, right? So the reason I mainly believe in NFTs is a couple things. One, I believe in the blockchain crazy, heavy crazy. We're about to go into the AI era. Every video on the internet, literally 90% of the videos on the internet in 10 years that come out every day will be fake.
Like on social media or just general?
Correct. And social, there will be unlimited videos of you two in 10 years saying shit you never said, and none of us will know if you said it or didn't. And the only way we'll be able to say or tell is if you guys mint it on the blockchain and there's a connection between the blockchain and the internet to show that this is real shit. I don't have to tell you guys about Bitcoin and things of that nature. So I think that the blockchain is going to be the most important digital platform infrastructure of the next century. Money will be on that, and so will collectibles. One of the, I've been into collectibles my whole life, so I watched it, and now I'm really paying attention to it. One of the things that fucks people up with collectibles is fake art, fake sneakers, fake sports cards, fake comic books. My boy years ago bought a fucking Spider-Man first appearance. We were fucking hyped. And then they started grading. This was back in the day in the 90s, paid real, paper for us back then. Tens of thousands. It was like $1 trillion. We're like, yeah, I was so happy for him. When grading came out and you could send it in and it could get authenticated, they're like, this is fake. One great thing about VFriends Series 1 NFTs, they'll never be a fake. It's on the blockchain, right? Yeah. That's a real crazy thing. So to kick off, I'm super hot on them. If you 99.999% of the people watching right now have rightfully not paid attention for the last 2-3 years because the brand got shit on, right? Brands ebb and flow. 3 years ago, we sit here, Will Smith's brand here. Will puts out a kind of funny little rap video the other day, a little lower. Will goes and makes a crazy banger movie in 3 years, up, right? We've all seen it. Yeah. Ebbs and flows, right? Ebbs and flows. Me growing up, the two shittiest fucking sports brands in the world, the Golden State Warriors and the New England Patriots. Those two fucking teams sucked shit. Now, no, better brands. Brands ebb and flow. Even in my 15-year public career as a personal brand, some moments I'm fucking hot. Some moments I'm in the cut, a little chill, up and down, up and down. You guys are feeling it already, right? Some moments you're like, we're fucking steaming. Other moments, that's 6 months, you're like, fuck, what's going on? Other people are taking our, like that shit. So I think collectibles are going to be a very big part of society because I think it's a human truth. Stamps, coins, you go back to cavemen, rocks, artifacts, antiques. So I'm bullish on it. I think they'll be the predominant. You look at kids growing up, Minecraft, Roblox, NBA 2K. They're buying digital fucking things. They're trading those cards. So I'm bullish on it. The problem for NFTs as we sit here today is the brand is in the fucking gutter because people got fucking way too greedy, doing dumb shit. Everyone thought that would be like me telling you every trading card is going to be worth money. Yeah. But what if the players suck shit?
It's like crypto.
It's like, that's right. I mean, Bitcoin's a beast.
Most cryptos fell apart, but that doesn't mean that Bitcoin's not legitimate.
Correct. And so, but that's how everything is. 99.9% of art is worthless. 99% of watches ain't worth shit. 99% of sneakers aren't worth collecting. Comic books, coins, stamps.
The dot-com bubble.
It was the dot-com bubble. The greed took over. By the way, that's why I started making the videos. I'm like, oh, fuck. Because I didn't make those videos up front because I'm like, oh, this is going to go nice and slow like TikTok and social media and like all the other shit I saw. And then it went real fast. COVID, people were at home. They didn't have other shit to do. The game was different than the world I lived in. There was no COVID so the pace was different. Everyone was digital. Everyone was on Twitter and social. And so all that heat came in and people got ahead of their skis. Bad actors got involved. People, looking for a quick buck, which is the quickest way to not make a buck, and shit got fucked up and the brand got hurt. But again, the market, like for the people watching right now and be like, damn, is Gary full of shit, or let me go check it? I think the ones that go look and be like, damn, that much volume is still going on. When that much volume is going on, when 99.9% of people think it's garbage, well, then there's something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened with sports cards and comic books. They crashed too in the 90s. But I was looking at eBay in the 2000s. I'm like, man, there's still a lot of people really fucking with this shit. Oh shit. Yeah. And that's how it kind of goes. Wrestling.
Yeah. Same
like
thing.
when Hogan and rest in peace, and Macho Man are doing their thing. Wow. Then it's a lull. Then comes The Rock and Stone Cold. Bam. Then there's a lull. Then I think people jump off when things aren't fucking cooking. And I think sheep jump on when things are cooking. And I'm just in my own little cave by myself in my brain, not being affected by anything besides what I believe to be true. And I'm running a marathon, and I'm aware that in this social media AI world, everyone's a sprinter, but life's a marathon.
Yeah. It's crazy. 4 years ago, this is interesting because AI wasn't the conversation.
Couldn't be. Wasn't ready.
It wasn't ready. 4 years later, here we are. And I know you've been on the cusp of looking at the next trend and looking how marketing is going. Talk about where you see the influence that AI has now and where we're headed in terms of marketing, in terms of business, in terms of any pretty much industry, and how it's about to change.
Kids who are watching, let me tell you the best part about being 49 is you've lived a little. When you're 22, you're like, fuck 49. I don't want to be there. But when you're at 49, you're like, wait a minute. It's kind of like being a fighter. Like when you're in your 50th professional fight, man, you've seen all those punches, right? Mm-hmm. And so you know how to fucking stick and move. That's how I feel about AI. I've seen this movie before. It was called The Internet. This isn't the things within the internet. So the internet came along. I'm like, look at this shit. I don't know if you can see it. Literally, look at the goosebumps I'm getting. Internet came along when I was like 18. You see it?
Yeah.
Internet came along when I was 18, and I was like, this is about to change my fucking life. And then I went deep into it and did shit underneath the internet. Email, website, Google AdWords, MySpace, Facebook. Got it?
Gotcha.
This thing isn't TikTok or NFTs or crypto, or this is the whole thing. So let me say this. This could be the only clip we need from this whole fucking podcast. If you're fucking seeing this right now and you are not spending 1 hour a day minimally fucking with AI, I don't give a fuck if it's just ChatGPT asking it questions. And then if you're a creative fucking around with all the new shit, Midjourneys and this and Runway and all that shit, if you're not in it, like you are literally your grandma that you made fun of. Got it? Like, how old are you two?
I'm 41.
43.
Perfect. When you guys were fucking with AOL, Instant Messenger and AOL and then MySpace and, cell phone and texting, parents, grandparents, unks, they weren't about that life. And it was like, ha ha ha, I'm up, I'm in it. They're not in it. If you're 26 right now, let alone early 40s, and you're not spending an hour or two a day fucking with AI, you are becoming your grandma. You are your grandma. So all these people are like, no, I don't fuck with that. That's some bullshit. Here's my favorite thing. When people talk about new shit and they shit on it on some noble shit, that's the tell that they're too lazy to do the work. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing AI because I think it fucks up musicians and I fuck with the arts and music and that's fucked up. So I'm out. You're not out because of fucking, you're sad that fucking Kendrick Lamar might lose some paper. You're out because you don't want to put in 40 hours to learn a new thing because you're tired because you just put in a lot of hours to learn the last thing. People aren't noble. People are lazy.
Lazy, yeah.
But people are also scared though too. There's a lot of fear as far as it's going to take my job, or some fears are legitimate, right? Like we've created something. When I say we humans have created something more intelligent than ourselves, that's kind of never been done before in human
Yep.
history. As far as like we don't know how far AI can actually go.
Let
right?
me tell you something right now. I don't know if you know this. You definitely do. This is a little joke. I'm setting it up. We also created a bomb that can kill every person on Earth. If the three of us intellects were chopping it up in 1952, and the US just dropped a fucking bomb several years earlier and blew out Japan, and we were just chopping it and saying, where the fuck are we gonna do with this thing? If I sat here and said, in the next 70 years, no country, no man, no woman will drop that bomb, everybody be like, get the fuck out of here. We think about what 1950 was. We just dropped the bomb. The last 30 years, we've had 2 world wars. Right? So in the last 30 years of society, we just got out of World War I. We just had World War II. The US just dropped this bomb. Now Russia's got it and everyone's trying to develop one. And I said, in 70 years, it will never drop. Nobody would believe that. My point of that little story is no shit people fear. People fear everything. Humans fear. Most parents parent with fear. Let me break it down. I don't love to get political, as you guys know. Let me just make it real simple. Every politician weaponizes fear. Fear is how you control people.
Mhm.
I'm not letting another invention fuck me up. Because guess what? When the car was invented, people were scared about that. Do you know what the word demonizing is? Demonizing comes from when electricity was invented. Word on the street, check this. Electricity gets invented. We have candles in our motherfucking offices and house. Electricity gets invented and people don't put electricity in their home because the word on the street is there's demons in it. Like if you bring in electricity, you're bringing demons into your home.
It's like magic. Like just cut a light on.
So
how are you using AI?
I use it every day to think, to strategize. For me personally, as I think you guys know, and some people may know, I'm always thinking. And then I act. And so I'm trying to think of a good one. I already referenced it. I'm fascinated by fashion trends because I think they tell you a lot of shit. So literally like 2-3 weeks ago, I'm on a plane, caught up my work, just on some, this is literally and by the way, I audio everything because I'm better with words than writing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yo, Chatty. I call it Chatty. So we've been on this baggy trend again, 90s. It seems like for the last couple of years it's coming. Like, can you give me the last 40 years on like clothes being loose, then tight, then loose, then tight? And what is your prediction on how long this cycle of baggy will last? And the reason I asked it is to get ahead of the next tight
wave.
Correct. So as an investor, if I see, so that was just a random thought that I did. And the answers are crazy. They give you like all sorts, and you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the answer is, it really sets me up to think. So then in 2 years, if I see a new designer, because when I saw Mad Happy, I was like, that's going to hit. Kith, watching Ronnie Firm, I'm like, that's going to hit. Siegelman Stables, those hats, I was like, that's going to hit. Like, I'm starting to think that what I'm good at with the internet, I should be doing investing in fashion. And so if some young girl comes to me in 2 years and she's like, I'm going back to like skinny jeans, I might be like, oh shit, she's right. Like it's somewhere in the next 2-3 years, let her cook, keep it alive. And she like that. So that's the shit I use it for.
Yeah, I mean, you have obviously you're creative just by nature, right? You've built that throughout your career. And obviously AI helps enhance that for the creatives. But we deal in a world where a lot of these agencies are old school.
Yeah.
And they're not up to date. And
Yep.
they don't really understand how to use this. What are your thoughts on them? And I guess this new world of influencer and entrepreneur who are using it and trying to deal with agencies that just don't get it.
There's a lot here. I'll break that down. I'm going to take a little from over here, bring it all together. A couple things first. Let there be no confusion. There is pain that is coming with this innovation. But that always happens. Hip hop, the music that spoke to me in Jersey in 85, 86, I stopped buying it. Like I would have been, if hip hop doesn't come along, I would have bought Van Halen and Bon Jovi tapes. But instead I bought Run DMC, Beastie Boys, the Fat Boys, big shout out to them, underrated. That took paper from someone else. When search engines came out, we were, I was a little older than you guys, but we were hyped. Yahoo, Ask Jeeves, and then Google, right? That was good for us. Nobody cried for the fucking 100,000 people that lost their jobs selling the yellow pages. This city, do you know how many motherfuckers' job it was to clean up horse poop before the car came out? This city, the best city in the world that we're sitting in right now, only 100 years ago, thousands were employed to clean up horse shit because horses were getting us around and they shit. When the car was invented, nobody cried, or they did. They wrote articles. Like people talked about it, but there will be pain in this. If you're not a thinker, if you're just a doer, if you're not the architect and you're just a mason, if you just take direction and you don't use this is going to be a fucked up era.
Talk about collecting.
I apologize. So to your point, the agencies that put their head in the sand and be like, this is bullshit. Real video is only when humans like this chop it up. You can't do that shit. They're going to lose. Again, I keep using your age because it's going to make sense to y'all. And then everybody who's in our similar age, remember when online dating came out? Remember when your boy went on Match.com or your girl went on Match.com and went on a date and then like, let's say it clicked and now they're dating and people are like, yo, where'd you guys meet? Oh, a bar. It was so taboo to do online dating in 2002, 3, 4, 5. It was corny. You were a loser. You were a, fat guy in your mom's basement. Now it is the only way people date, right? Like to the point where it's so scaled, people are trying to go back to the way it, right? That is how the world works. And the agencies that don't say it's real dating, aka this isn't real content, are going to be put out of business.
Talk about collecting and selling trading cards.
Biggest month in the history of the hobby just happened in July. I think the number I saw was $308 million worth of cards documented.
Sold.
In just a month.
What kind of cards are these? Like Pokemon cards? Are these Michael Jordan's rookie card? Like what exactly
the
are
fact
trading
that
cards?
You're not deep in it?
I used to.
You've dabbled?
Yeah.
The fact that this is perfect. You're not deep and you just named 2 of the 4 things that are cooking. That's what I mean that collecting's getting into culture. The you at 41, 20 years ago that wasn't into it couldn't rattle off 2 of the 4 things that are cooking. It's in the ether. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, everything's cooking. UFC cards are starting to get hot. Pokemon's fucking fire hot. Pokemon's killing it. Basketball, football, but baseball's still huge, and that's where a lot of the origins come from. Hockey to a smaller degree. Marvel, Disney getting very hot. And now you've got Michael Rubin, who's a real fucking guy. Really behind Topps, really pushing the culture of it. Fanatics Fest at the Javits Center, all these celebrities. You guys see it, right? Yeah. Everybody listening right now sees in their feed. Olivia Dunn, a Grant Williams. Like people are feeling it. There's more Tom Brady's. Every piece of content I see about Tom Brady is about trading cards.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark.
Like little girls buying a $20 pack, pulling a $50,000 Caitlin Clark. So there's that lottery aspect to it. For me, it was my first hobby and my first business in a lot of ways. It taught me I am who I am as a businessman because of baseball cards. Because I was 12, 13, 14. Those are formative years. I'm learning. I'm in the trenches. I'm with grown-ass men as a child, learning how to getting ripped off, learning how not to get ripped off, selling, buying, all that shit. So I believe that trading cards are this generation's art. I think I know so many people in their 40s to 50s who've gotten into some wealth that don't want to buy a painting from Europe from 1855 for $500,000, but want a Michael Jordan rookie card in a perfect condition, or a Bill Russell or a Charizard. Like, yeah, it's very big, and I honestly think it's incredibly early. And I think video games, comic books. Look at nerd culture. Look at how the culture's. look at her AC, like obviously it's ADHD, but like that's off the reference of ACDC. Like everything's blending, New Balance, like everything's just blending. We all know that. You got to look at Wheezy and Pharrell. If you think about black culture, hip hop culture, when those fuckers started bringing in skateboards, when those guys started showing fucking like Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon, I don't think it's lost on anyone, definitely not the audience that's watching here. Black culture, the culture becomes later pop culture. And, you can really look at that, moment where it started like nerd culture went from straight up nerd. Like when I was a kid, if you were into comic books, you got your ass kicked in New Jersey, right? Now, like you go to a high school in the fucking inner cities.
I was there.
And fucking the baddest motherfucker in the school is walking in with a Pikachu t-shirt. You know what I mean?
And they're bringing their trading cards to lunch and they're battling at lunch.
There's paper in it.
Yeah.
The fuck's the difference between slinging fucking Nick bags or a Pikachu? It's just paper.
When you just said it, this is the first time I thought it.
Right? Like at the end, and by the way, the second one's got more paper in it.
That's a fact.
And no fucking drama and no fucking worrying. And now you flinging Pokemon and sports cards and making $5K a week. You're an entrepreneur. When my friends were growing up selling nicks, not even dimes because it was fucking hood shit, they were criminals. Same DNA. So it's good, man. There's good shit in this.
Yeah. You're bringing it back my childhood now because I never looked at it as a lottery. But I grew up in that era of getting sports cards and then getting the comic cards, getting comic book, but getting the comic cards and buying Marvel and trying to get the hologram. And it turns into like what you said now, like that is the art of this generation. NFTs is part of that as well. I want to just go back to that for a sec because it's important that you look at it as art and as a collectible. But part of it, I know, is the incentive of having it.
Yes.
And I know 2021 is a lot different than 2025. What was the challenge, or did you see challenges, I'm sure you did, in that process of making sure that the incentive of having that card stayed up to date, stayed relevant, and stayed on course?
With VeeFriends, I won because this is like lost in the history and the ether, pun intended. The NFT was the ticket to 3 years of a conference.
Right.
So VCon, like that's the way I priced it, which was, this is what I would charge for this conference for the kind of caliber in football stadiums with Snoop Dogg and all these people, and amortized over 3 years, right? So that was the first utility. Series 2 VeeFriends came with a box of trading cards. Those things over the next 2 or 3 years are likely, the box is going to be worth more than what the whole thing cost, right? Then I had an NFT within VeeFriends called the Gift Goat, which means you got physical gifts if you owned it. Those guys and gals just got a box of Sapphire, Top Sapphire, the most premium one, literally in the mail for free just by owning it. That box is selling for $8,000 on eBay. So what's cool, to your point, what's amazing about NFTs is right now, when I walk out of here, we dap it up, good to see you, good show. I can literally, in the 3 minutes that I go downstairs to go into my car to go back to the office, I can see every single account that currently holds a VeeFriend. I can also see the full history of that collectible. So for example, in 10 years, I can look on the blockchain and see people who bought the NFT and never sold it. That's a loyal crew. Might be able to do so. You see what I'm saying? It's amazing. It's so different. The blockchain is fucking profound and slept on. Again, everyone's looking at the money. Bitcoin. How much is Bitcoin worth? We're not looking at the big thing of what the blockchain means. The blockchain is the saving grace to society, in my opinion, because of this AI thing. You got to remember, real talk, video proof has actually been the judge and jury of our society for the last 100 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, did JFK get shot or did he not get shot? Like, that video mattered. Did Rodney King get beat by the police or did he not? That video fucking mattered.
Yeah.
Right? We're about to go into a world, real talk now. You want to get really scared? This is what is scary to me. No video will be trusted. Did Trump say that or didn't he? Did Putin say that? Didn't he? Did LeBron do that? Didn't he? Every video on the internet within a decade will be fake. The blockchain is the only answer. If we live on the internet, if that's where the world really is, which it is, let there be no confusion, this, what we're doing right now, is secondary. In fact, this is feeding what's going to go into it. Well, if every video is fake, that's fucked up because the truth is important.
So every video has to come with an NFT component on the blockchain to verify that it's actually a real video.
Yeah, I still don't have it fully figured out. And listen, I stay in my lane. I can think about things theoretically. There's a place where my shit cuts off and I'm not technically sound enough. But knowing the blockchain exists and knowing the internet exists, there will be a bridge, or the social networks that blow up in the future will live on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Instead of the internet. No company will own it. Nobody can shadow ban you. Nobody can delete your account. It will be decentralized. Now that's great, but it's also bad. That means all the bad stuff has no police either.
That's why when you were talking about pretty much the analytics of looking at the blockchain and the VFriends and you can see everything. First thing I thought was like, oh, this is the new ownership.
100%.
Right? Because if you look at the platforms we're on now, I know you talk about this a lot, you're renting time.
100%.
You're renting the equity.
You're siphoning attention.
Right.
When everybody gets mad at Facebook, like, fuck you, I'm like, they're giving you free attention.
Right.
Which is the most important asset in the world.
Exactly.
But you're right. This is the ownership. For example, Coinbase has a new social network. It's called Base. It's on the blockchain. It's crazy. When you post something, people can hit one little button and tip you like 8 cents of cryptocurrency, any crypto they want. And I was sitting, I was like, and you guys know this because you guys stream on YouTube and you're watching culture. You know this. Streamers get tipped all the time, right? And I'm like, okay, this is happening in streaming world, but it's not happening in social world. Now, let's make pretend, you know, my wife Mona posts something about health and wellness. And it's really valuable content. She posts about like really living a clean, healthy life. Now you get a 2-minute video from her and it brings you a lot of value. I think in 10 years, you might just be like, man, that was good shit. Like, thank you. Here's 15 cents. Talk about, you know, like shit's changing.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like that's not, like Facebook didn't build that.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to do that seamlessly. I think you're going to see a lot of changes, but ownership, yes, this is why I'm obsessed with NFTs. We're going to live digital, which means our physical stuff is going to decrease in value because we're going to live more, like the way we live in our phones now, VR and AR are coming. Yeah. Bro, I went deep on AI in 2015, but it was so over my head and it was so not ready. After about a month or two, I was like, okay, right? I bought Bitcoin and Ethereum in 2014, 15, but it didn't really get cooking for another 5 years. Everyone shits on the Apple and the Snapchat and the Facebook. And then just like AI and the blockchain, y'all are going to wake up. I'm going to wake up and it's just going to be here. And everyone's like, where the fuck did this come from? The last 20 years? And then we're going to be living like this. And now let me ask you a real fucking fire question. What the fuck happens when this is no longer the fucking game?
Oh, we've been saying that.
And this becomes the game. Now what?
Or just, I was in China. I was in China and I mean, they have it here to a very lesser degree, but is widespread in China where you pay for stuff just based off your eyeballs.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's like passport, your credit card, all the information
100%.
is either your fingertips, your eyeballs. So it's a world we don't need any digital device because all the digital device is actually on us.
Look, I think it will get to, that is validation and confirmation, you know, kind of like Apple Pay. I'm talking about the three of us living the back half of our lives where literally it'll start with glasses. Long term, I do think it will be contact lenses. But I'm talking about while we're in this room, we see other shit.
Yeah. Like Microsoft had, what was the Microsoft? They had the headset where we did that a few years ago. Where you can
I can't talk about it fully because I'm under some NDA, but I tested a Facebook product that's coming out in the future that shook me heavy.
Mm.
And not like clunky. Like I'll use video game terms that will hit for you guys. Not Atari, like the latest PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like those graphic differences.
And we talk about this. I'm glad you said that because I'm looking at even like your microphone now.
Yeah.
Like, that's the agentic AI. Like it won't be the phone. It'll be something that'll
100%.
shoot to here, and that's the dial pad, and that's your agent, and it tells you where to go.
Your refrigerator's reordering your food for
exactly.
you. Like your body knows that you're low on sugar and fucking the shit just like a fucking mango just shows up on your fucking front of you.
Yeah.
Like on some real shit. Like I do not believe that people, this is actually a good sentence. For some goddamn reason, we as human beings think technology stops when we're alive.
Yeah.
That's almost like the Matrix, though, right? Because in the movie The Matrix, we were all in. Everybody was in like the generator thing, whatever. And you just so it's like, okay, if you are tired at work, you don't necessarily need to get a plane ticket to go to Aruba. You can just plug in and be on a beach, right? And just sit on the couch and just have that stimulation.
And the previews are in our faces.
That's where I was going because I don't even think you need to plug in. I think if you watch Star Wars, I think this doesn't stop till it's like I teleport.
And by the way, let me say this in less of a projecting. The fuck do you think Zoom backgrounds are?
Yeah,
it's like you see what I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like you're seeing the previews already.
Right. VR, same thing.
When I talk a lot about like people marrying robots in the future, and everyone gets all fucked up. Like right now, I'm sure the comments are, come on. But I'm like, yo, when you're DMing with someone in dating apps before you meet in person, people catch feelings on those words.
And you have no idea who it is.
Like shit's changes. Like if your great grandma, if there was new technology, we could like rebirth people. You put some liquid on their grave and they come out and they're like, what's up? If that existed, all of us would go do that because we want to meet, right? That'd be nice. You go to your great grandma, not that long ago. She was here 100 years ago. And you put that liquid on, she pops up. Granny's gonna be like, what the fuck happened? like if you died 100 years ago, no car, no plane, fucking internet, like a credit card, what the fuck is that? Like I don't think people understand how much happens in 10 years.
Yeah.
So why the fuck's it going to stop now? In fact, it's the reverse. Now that we have all this infrastructure, it accelerates.
At a faster speed.
Correct.
But also ebbs and flows. Like throughout human history, technology has always advanced and there's been dark ages. And it's advanced and it's been dark ages.
Yeah.
So we could potentially form into another dark age where maybe the technology gets so far advanced that it kind of works against us and we actually start going back to traditional ways.
It sounds like Judgment Day. Terminator 2.
By the way, I think that's happening already in a little bit of a way, but I don't think it is a dark age. I think it's a balanced age, meaning you're starting to see Gen Alpha and young Gen Zers really unplugged for real. Like the three of us are fucking 24/7 because we grew up unplugged.
Right.
Motherfucker, I'm 49. I didn't even have the internet before I went to college. I lived my whole ass childhood with no internet. Did not go on the internet until I was 18. So I lived unplugged. These kids lived the reverse. They've been plugged from the get, 2 years old, watching fucking Coco Melon, iPad. So they're the first generation to be like, let's go fucking take a walk. Like I invested in the pickleball league. I'm looking at alternative sports. I'll give you one that I'm obsessed with, wiffle ball.
Love it.
Like I could see people just getting back into like, I said something the other day that a lot of people hit me up about. I said, I see a business in the future where people get paid to walk with other people on some human connection shit. Like literally on your Facebook, people are just like, yo, I get paid $20 an hour to walk with you and chat it up. I think you would cook.
Like a dog walker, but for humans.
I literally believe every human that makes under $20 an hour that's watching right now needs to hear me. And even if they don't have a Facebook account, create a Facebook account and then run $10 of ads, $10 on a video saying, yo, I live in Topeka, Kansas, and I live on this area, and I'll walk with anybody. I'll walk with you and talk and communicate and chop it up with anybody in this 10-mile radius and run ads, $10 in Facebook ads on that 10-mile radius. I think they build a straight up business. People are lonely.
It's true.
There's a 68-year-old man or woman that sees that video of a 28-year-old saying that, who unfortunately just lost their spouse and they're lonely. And they're like, fuck it. I'll pay $20 to walk with somebody for an hour. Like that's what I mean. Like shit just changes. Whereas if I said in 1990, People can get paid to walk with people. People get the fuck out of here, Gary, on that dumb shit. But let me give you one that will, if everyone's confused by what I'm saying, let me give you a different one. If you told people in 1965 that motherfuckers would pay for water, can I have that water bottle? Yeah, that one right there. I'm doing a prop on this episode. You can throw it, I catch. If I was an entrepreneur in 1960 and said, people are going to pay $3 for water, everybody would have laughed their asses off. Shit was free. It was in the fucking sink. Free. This shit's free. Except for the now this is where we're really going to get into real talk, because we were talking about this off camera before we started. That shit's free except for the 800 million people on earth that don't have access to clean water. That's why my ass is in Ghana a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Charity water. Shit's interesting out here, and people aren't thinking. You know what I feel about the last 20 minutes? I need people to think.
Yeah.
People just follow, like they see one thing or their one boy says something like, yeah. You see it in politics, you see it in society. People aren't thinking, and they're definitely not thinking for themselves.
You just made me think of today's entrepreneur, right? The person who's trying to get started. Like, let's take your media group that you've created, right? You don't have the platform, you don't have the recognition. If you're starting today, like, what's the first place you would tap?
We talked about it for a quick second. The number one thing I would do on earth right now, if I'm 15 to 30 and I'm just trying to fucking build something for myself, is I would give one solid, meaningful attempt at live social shopping. Back to China. Like, I cannot say, I'm glad I need everyone to listen. Mike, you did it one time the other day. Like, one attempt, literally TikTok shop, but you need a certain amount of followers to get a shop, go live. And then there's a startup called Whatnot. It's big now. You literally create an account. It's QVC on social media. You literally go live and you start selling shit. All the collectibles are going crazy, but I see an opportunity for people to sell anything, including some garage sale shit. My number one belief is that every person that's watching right now that's crying about money, if they're in a place where they have an iPhone or an Android and they're watching this, they probably have somewhere between $500 and $2,000 worth of shit in their house, because everybody buys dumb shit and they don't use it. Like, literally, I'm talking clothes, shit in your attic, your basement, video games you don't play. I really believe this to my soul. And in 2017, I made a big platform about this. I called it the 2017 Flip Challenge. And I challenged people to try to make $10,000 by selling shit in their house and then learn eBay. Fuck, man. Every day I get DMs from people, screenshots of their eBay account and their Wells Fargo. Gary, when I saw that video, I had $18 in my Wells Fargo. 2 years later, I have $103,000 in my eBay account. I think most people, even the most not talented, can learn the basics of buying and flipping shit. And with dollar stores, with thrift stores, with fucking Salvation Army, with fucking garage sales, flea markets, and then you just start getting more and more advanced. It's kind of like training. Like, everybody can actually lose 30 pounds and gain 30 pounds of muscle. Shit's hard. Takes discipline, right? But the three of us could look crazy in 2 years if we went crazy. None of us are bad, but we can all look at each other and be like, we could be crazy in 2 years if we ate super proper and really hit right, and we look crazy, and people are like, what the fuck? That's how I think about this financial shit.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, live social shopping is going to explode. Like, explode. It will be massive in America, and I think everyone who's watching should learn about it. Again, go to ChatGPT and be like, Gary Vee said live social shopping is going to be huge. What does that mean? And you'll get all the answers, and you could literally talk. You don't even need experts anymore. Be like, and then how do I set up a Whatnot? And then what should I say? Like, you just talk. And I'm telling you, that would be the one place I would start. First, with some shit that's in your house. Mike, what the fuck did you sell?
Posters, pencil tin,
How much did that pencil case go for? That shit was going to be thrown the fuck out by him.
Good old pencil.
And he needs $27. I'm serious, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, so, and by the way, I saw some crazy ass stat. I don't know if it's true or not, back to like, I didn't do the homework yet, but like there was some staggering number of like what percentage of Americans don't have $3,000 in their bank account.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
like
You saw?
90%.
Yeah, you guys know.
But even in China, I was in China, and one of the girls that was like my translator, actually, she's a seller online, and they do like the 24-hour marathon thing, and the amount of money that she was making from that was crazy. Like she made like she said her best 48 hours, she made like $30,000.
Damn.
I cannot stress enough, t-shirts, used sneakers, hats, everything. And then what will happen, let's say the 50 people that are watching, they're actually going to do this. 3 of them are going to email me in 7 months and be like, yo, saw you on the pod, fucking did it, fucking love you, because they're going to be happy, right? They're going to be like, problem, I sold all my shit. I'm going to be like, now go buy new shit and make profit. Oh, you made 8,000? Good. Now go buy $8,000 worth of shit and make 16,000. That you start learning a skill. What do you buy? What sells? Where's their demand? How do you sell it? But here's a big one. You'll like this. I think a lot of people that are trying to be Alex Earl and Joe Rogan and Gary Vee, like be an influencer, you know, there's not a single person under 20 whose number one goal in life is not to be an influencer. I think a lot of those people will never get to be that. But of those people, I think a shocking percentage, call it 5 to 10% of those people that will never get to what they want to be, millions of followers, I think 5 to even 15% of those people, I think can make 6 figures a year selling shit out of their living room.
Yeah.
And that's a lot more fun than having a job paying you $75K that you fucking hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You said they'll never get there. Is it because the age of influence is changing?
No, supply and demand.
Okay.
You're competing against the world.
And AI at a certain point.
Right, that, I was thinking that
AI
part.
influences. Let me ask you this as far as, okay, you, somebody that always are looking forward from a global standpoint, what markets are you looking at? What are you bullish on? Where do you think there's going to be opportunity? What areas, like globally?
I mean, we talked about it a second before we got on here. I've been infatuated. In fact, I think 2026, maybe early 27, because we're opening up Dubai. But my Vayner world, VFriends, Vayner Sports, definitely Vayner Media, has to start putting flags in the ground in Africa. It's super clear. The youth, the talent, the fucking firepower. I wish people understood the intellectual firepower of the volume of under 30-year-olds that roam at scale, live in all the different countries in Africa. So Africa is going to win. If you want, again, please learn how to use AI. We just said this. Immediately take off. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do some show and tell.
Let's do it.
Not using any biases of any other prompt I've done before. I just watched Gary Vee on a podcast talk about Africa as the next continent. He referenced Asia and the Middle East in the last 50 years. 50 years ago, Asia started to cook, Japan, then later China. And then obviously what's been going on the last 25 years in the Middle East, Dubai, and then obviously what's going on with Saudi. If he's right about Africa, which 5 or 6 countries within Africa is he right about? And also give me the real data and make sure you're 100% right on this. The real data, because he mentioned something about how young the continent is. He referenced something that he wasn't sure about, but he said something to the degree of by 2035, 35% of everybody under 30 will be living in the continent of Africa. Can you give me the real stat on that? And any other 3 or 4 bullet points that might give validity to why Africa is so fruitful and so vibrant and such a great entrepreneurial and business opportunity. Also, I've been aware over the last 5 to 10 years that China has invested heavy into Africa. And I hear from a lot of American outlets like China owns Africa. Like, what does that mean? Like, I'd love to get a little educated on that and what impact does that have? Yeah, thank you. So a couple things. First, I'm really glad I did that because I think that just opened up a lot of people's mind into AI. Because a lot of people are using AI right now like a search engine.
That's ChatGPT.
Right? A lot of people use AI
like it's Google.
Like
search.
it's Google. They're like, what is a bird? You know what I mean? You could see what I'm doing. That was a full-fledged minute 18 prompt. I did a 17-minute prompt the other day. The 41, I can talk, a 41-minute prompt. All right, here we go. Under 30 population forecast. Your recollection that by 2035, 35% of everyone under 30 will live in Africa is in the ballpark. While the exact numbers vary by source, here's what we know. By 2030, young Africans, typically defined as those under 25, or youth, defined as 15 to 24, are projected to make up 42% of the world's youth.
Wow.
Of the youth. More than 60% of Africa's population is under the age of 25. Let me say that nice and slow for all the kids in the back. More than 60% of Africa's population is under the age of 25. Looking to the broader population growth, by the mid-century, a significant 1/3 of all sub-Saharan African population will be children under 15. So while the exact number is not right, there you go. 5 to 6 African countries poised for growth. Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Congo, Rwanda, fastest growing economies in 24. GDP, like East Africa countries like Rwanda at 6.9, Ethiopia 6.2, are among the fastest growing. So that goes into that. Why is Africa vibrant, full of opportunity? Here are 4 bullet points that back up Gary Vee's point in Africa. Youthful population, fast growing economies, massive population boom, infrastructure and investment, both regional, tech, agriculture, mining, and global investments. Notably, China and now increasingly the UAE and the US are heavily investing in African infrastructure. What does China owning Africa mean, and what is the reality? This statement pops up often, but the actual picture is more nuanced. China is now Africa's largest bilateral trading partner, accounting for about 20% of the exports. Chinese loans and debt. China shares external public debt in sub-Saharan Africa rose from 2% in 2005 to 17% by 2021, 134 billion. Yeah.
That's a large percentage.
And by the way, that's how I use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I'm thinking about shit.
As like a mentor,
or like
sparring partner.
Watch this. I'll give you another one because I'm heavy. Like if you ask me for real, I would say that I'm a pop culture anthropologist, right? I just like to know everything to the best of my ability.
I like that.
Why did Sabrina Carpenter pop off? What were the 3 things that really made her go? That shit, what I just did there, I do. Like if I see anyone on the radar, I want to know why. Right? Like just knowing, because once I know why Kai Sadet, why Sabrina, right? Why Libby Dunn, why, you start to see patterns. Once you understand patterns, you can start executing those patterns. Right? Viral hits and fan connections. Mega boost via Taylor Swift's Era Tour. Opening for Taylor Swift in 23, 24. Exposed, right? So then like when I see something like that, I'm like, and I'm, you guys probably have seen this through my content. I love emerging artists. I just like, I feel like that's just like some pure shit. Like Doechii. Like why did I like nail that? Just like spending time like consuming, she's a star. Right? If we were chopping, I mean, she got there herself, but like 3 years ago, if she like hit me up and she's like, yo, why am I not popping off, right? Or Tierra Whack, someone I fuck with heavy that I think is a crazy star too. If I see her in 6 months and we have dinner, like just me reading that little thing, I'll be like, Tierra, listen to me. You have to fucking open, like swallow your fucking pride, and you have to open for the biggest fucking star you can go, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, that wasn't profound insight. That's always happened. Opening for someone bigger is like a 40-year thing, but it reminds you. Here's a good one. There's shit the 3 of us and everybody knows, but we forgot. That's just being a human.
You've done a lot. I mean, you've said a lot. You've done a lot. I wonder, like, ownership has always been the key. Obviously, you said asset is the biggest piece of the future of economy. But partnerships is something in this space that we do. So I wonder when you say, okay, I don't have to own, it's okay for me to partner.
Early in my career, a lot. Later, it got changed up. Check this out. One of the reasons I'm scared to partner is I'm building such a big thing. I'm scared that I want to do something. And by doing a small partnership, if I then later want to do something in it, I'm worried that partner's like, yo, fuck you, Gary Vee. You fucking stole my shit, or you did wrong by me. I'm so scared of reputational. So I'm very timid on partnerships because of that. Because my favorite thing, this is a very important statement that I hope hits for someone. I'm not trying to maximize money. I'm trying to maximize the joy of the game. When you analyze my career, and I've got another 50 years, when it's all said and done and it's written, people are going to look at it if I keep doing what I'm doing and it's worth looking at. And they'll be like, man, he did a lot of dumb shit. And I'm going to come from fucking heaven and whisper down to them, it wasn't dumb shit. I wasn't trying to maximize money. If I was trying to maximize money, I would just do real estate. All the tax laws in its favor. I'm trying to maximize fun. Like, I'm serious. Athletes. You know that I'm in the business. Vayner Sports, big agency. My brother, big shout out to AJ, just signed the biggest Jets defensive player contract in history. We rep Sauce Gardner. We have all these crazy athletes. It broke my heart when we got into the business 10 years ago. And honestly, I knew it earlier. 8 years ago, we got into business. Probably 12 years ago is when I realized this, when my notoriety and my juice started growing. I started meeting more fancy people and I started meeting real athletes. I so wished as a kid that I could be a football player or anything. I love sports that much. 3rd grade, my hand-eye coordination had me cooking, all-star and everything. 5th grade, size, speed, athleticism, power, all started to matter. I got fucking cooked out. But I didn't realize how many athletes don't love the game. I just love it so much. I played 5 hours of basketball on Thursday. I'm fucking 50 in November. I'm not supposed to be out there like that. That's how much I love it. But for a lot of athletes, it's the way out. It's the path to paper. It's the biggest thing they can do to make money. As an entrepreneur, I think when people think about entrepreneurship, everybody who's watching, they think about money. I think about sports and art. If entrepreneurship was like teaching and you could only make $50,000 a year, I'd be sitting here right now talking about entrepreneurship. Renting a fucking Kia, eating fucking inexpensive food, living in a humble home, and I would be happy as fuck. And I know a lot of people don't believe me. And the good news is I don't give a fuck because I know it's the truth. I'm in it for the game. So the reason I don't do a lot of partnerships is a lot of times I'm not trying to maximize the financial thing. Mm-hmm. I want to paint my own picture. I don't want to co-cook. I want to cook, you know? Mm-hmm. And so for me, this is why I fucked with Kobe so heavy. Like long before, like just day one Kobe. Like, and by the way, I'm a Knicks fan and hate every other player and team, but I was like, that motherfucker. And he was in the West, so that was good. It wasn't going to fuck up my Knicks. That's why I hate Jordan and Brady so much, but I understood them. There's certain people that it's just about the game. As an entrepreneur, what most excites me is to see where I stack up, but I have the humility when someone builds bigger shit. I'm like, you know, the game. You see the best athletes in the world play a game and the game's over. And as a fan, when the Jets lose to the Patriots and the game's over and all the Jets players dap up the path, I'm like, don't fucking, I get pissed because I'm a fan, but they're on the field. And they know, like UFC, right? These motherfuckers are trying to kill each other. Fight's over. That's why I love UFC so much. They fucking, right? Yeah. It's like a brotherhood, right? That's how I feel about fellow entrepreneurs. But the money isn't like what excites me. And people are going to be like in the comments or in their heads right now, yeah, because you got it now. I'm like, motherfucker, fuck you. You didn't know me at 17. Go find my boys from around the way. It was always about this. When they were fucking going to parties and hooking up, I did a baseball card show, not for the $187 that I made, because I'd rather hook up than get $187, because the fucking game. It's like these lights, you know, like in the summer when you got those lights and the little flies, they can't help it. I feel like those flies know that that light's going to zap the fuck out of them and they're going to die, but they can't fucking help it. It's like love, right? Like, you know, love, like you can't help it. That's how entrepreneurship is for me. And that's why partnerships, it's not about like, I don't trust. In fact, I trust too much. It's just that I just want to cook.
Not a game.
What, you said everybody can't be a content creator. Okay. for the
Everybody can be a content creator.
everybody can't be a star content creator.
Everybody can't get to the plate, like, right? Everyone wants to professionally live.
Yeah.
And that's the whole game. Everybody wants a 1% life, but it's a 1% life.
No, for sure, definitely.
You know,
For a reason.
But the next iteration of content creation, because we actually saw a lot of things happen in the last 10 years, right? Where we saw social media influencer
Yep.
come.
Yep.
Then we saw the rise of podcast.
Yep.
Then now we're seeing the rise of streamers.
No question.
So where do you see this thing going from a content creation?
I don't know because I don't predict, but I move quickly. To your point, literally starting in October, which is 6 weeks, I'm going live 3-4 hours a day.
On what platform?
All of them, which is why I told you, like, I don't, if I have the humility to start up my Kick account and have 3 followers, then you should too. You see where I'm going? Humility is the secret weapon of the gangster. Humility is the secret weapon of the gangster. So I'm going to restream it everywhere, right? Twitch and Kick I want because I want that youth. YouTube and others will cook for me because I have a little bit more of a base there. But I don't care. I want to eat back to the game. I want to eat shit for 18 hours. Again, I hate him with my whole heart, Michael Jordan, because I'm a real Knicks fan, never wore a pair of Jordans in my life. But I understand what was fun about baseball for him. When you get to the pinnacle, you want to, right? I get that I've cooked and done well, but now let me go fucking chop it up on this IRL shit. And for me, it's a throwback because I was cooking on Ustream back in 2007. The first IRL, Ustream.tv. It was big for me. But no, there was no moving with it. It was different. It was on a desk. There wasn't even laptops. It was fucking that big ass computer. You know, it was different. It was at my desk. But I'm going to do Tea with Gary Vee, and I'm going to do another show called Winding Down with Gary Vee. Winding Down. So I'm going to sip some tea in the morning and do some Q&A wisdom. And I'm going to drink some wine and do some Q&A wisdom in the evening. And then back to the thing I said about flowers. I want to start. I'm very focused right now on giving flowers. I got a big platform. And I've always been good at that, right? Doechii, Gunna, you know, Logan Paul, all those, Jake Paul, all those kids that came up. I want to almost formalize that. I want to start really being much more thoughtful. And, you know, I'm doing the research anyway, right? And a lot of people that have come up know this about me. I love a DM to a kid on the come up. Like nothing makes me happier than like being at midnight, just chopping up, looking at the culture, seeing someone, I'm like, yeah. And like just giving them a fucking did on the way here, a kid that I've been watching for a while, Cam, right? I just want to like, so I literally DM'd Cam Peterson, the comedian, on the way here. Keep building, my guy. We all see you. That shit is everything to me because I can't believe that I'm at a point in my career where someone thinks that's epic. And I do not understand why people do not give more love. There are people who today will spend their entire day being on the internet shitting on people. The fuck do you think is going on in that person's life? So the haters are hating and the hurt are hurting. My question for everybody who's watching, if you're happy and you're loving, the fuck are you not giving love? I'm happy. I'm in love with life. So I spend time giving love.
It's that simple, man. It's that simple.
Hate is loud and love is quiet. We need to flip that. That's why everyone's confused out here right now. Because people that are winning like me, they just mind their business. And I'm saying to them, no. We have a responsibility to fucking put love on the offense. And I take that very seriously. I think that's why I'm unique-ish a little bit. Like it's not lost on me. It's not lost on you guys. The audience knows good, bad, or indifferent, whether you fuck with me or you think I'm the worst, I do play it different. And I actually think that little piece I just talked about is a big piece of it. I spend a lot of time and energy spreading good shit. And I don't get caught up in the nonsense. And let me be very clear, it's nonsense. It's fucking nonsense.
For those who are confused.
If you're confused, and let me say this, if you're a human that sees somebody shine and your envy and jealousy and hurt makes you want to write some shit, I ain't mad at you. I love you. I'm sad for you. I want to get you the fuck out of there. Because I promise you, Johnny Pants 49 saying, Gary Vee, you suck. Motherfucker, that ain't doing shit to me. The fuck you think that's doing to me?
Yeah.
It's a fact.
What the fuck do you think that's doing? I promise you, winners are not hurt by booze. Motherfucking winners are fucking invigorated by booze. Like, even though I hate Reggie Miller and Trae Young and all these people, the Garden is the Mecca.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers love to come in and be the villain, even though I hate it because I'm a Knicks fan. I would be the first man. I'd be the ultimate villain in the Garden. If I was blessed with basketball talent and was unblessed and not being a Knick, and I would be the #1 hated person in Madison Square Garden history, because I'd go in there trying to kill people because it's the Mecca. And that booing,
nothing like it.
It's the
man,
fuel.
I love booing so much.
It's the fuel.
In fact, sometimes I ask myself on some deep shit, like in the dark, I'm like, do I sabotage myself just for the booing?
You need to feed off of it.
Bro, this is some real fucked up shit. Do you know my favorite Rocky is when he loses everything and goes back to fucking the Philly ghettos? Like, I sometimes want to lose everything again and go back to Queens and just start from the beginning. That's how much I love building. And now I'm at a point where, like, people think it's going to be successful just because my track record's on wax. Like, sometimes I think about, like, doing that face-off thing and changing my face and becoming, like, I love being underestimated. By the way, that's why I love VFriends. VFriends did me a blessing. Because, by the way, no one's really paying attention to what I'm doing with VFriends. And I'm building fucking Pokemon and Marvel in everyone's face, and no one's even seeing it. Because everyone's like, oh, NFTs are dead. And, that was the one thing Gary Vee was wrong about. Motherfucker, it's going to be the thing I'm most right about. I'm willing to take the booze and the judgment right now. But when that bell rings in the 12th round, they're putting up my fucking hand. I'm putting that belt. And what are you going to say?
Well, Gary, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Any last words you want to leave the audience with?
Yeah, always. What you just saw is, in the last 3 minutes, is the luck. And I hate using that word because luck is the weapon of choice of the lazy. But I'm going to use it because it's true. What you just saw was the luck of the draw of DNA. We're all born with our DNA. The luck of the draw of having the world's greatest mother who gassed me up so heavy, but she didn't do modern gassing up where, like, you can be anything. She kept my shit in check. She was a Russian fucking immigrant mom who was willing to smack you in the face if you weren't doing the right thing. I didn't even think about disrespecting my mom, let alone doing it. I was scared if I thought it that she would know. So, but she made me feel like I was the greatest. And a lot of hard work. And I believe that hard work, because I saw my siblings aren't the same as me. There's always different shit. I think that everyone who's listening needs to understand that if you really listen back, you should run this podcast back. We touched on things. That point when I said all three of us could look crazy in 2 years, the work is real. Like, you can. And I say this all the time. If anyone looks like you that's ever made it, the fuck is your excuse? If anyone with 2 parents that were drug addicts built something big and had a happy life, right? Because people are looking for their excuse. My parents are divorced. I'm this. I come from this background. I'm this gender. I'm this race. I'm from this area. If anybody in the history of time has made it, and I say made it as being happy, comma, maybe having a little something, right? From your circumstances, then you got to ask yourself, why not you? And you got to get into fucking accountability. Like, I'm telling you, we are living in the greatest era of entitlement. And you know what happened? Unfortunately, the politicians in the last 30 years have successfully made people think that they're going to help them. Motherfucker, I made money with Clinton and Bush and Obama and Trump and Biden and Trump and the next fucker too. It's not Trump's fault. It's not Biden's fault. It's not your mama's fault. It's not your daddy's fault. It's not the world's fault. It's no one's fault but you. And yet, and people don't understand that's the liberation. Once you understand when I tell you everything that is bad in my life is 100% my fault, and that makes me happy, because then I feel like I'm in control. And the second you cede control is the second you start getting unhappy. And collectively, we've ceded control to a bunch of clown ass politicians.
Yeah.
Grab the wheel.
No argument.
Grab the wheel.
Gary, always a pleasure.
Love you guys. Thank you for having me.
I'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
All right.